Hey guys, it's Freebird with Circle City News. I'm just here to share a little bit about my travel adventure that I just went on. So, this is the Indy airport that I walked through on my way, and I actually took a flight to Seattle first, and it seemed like that flight was forever. So, here's some pictures from the plane just overlooking Seattle and a little bit of Canada. And then finally, I got to Alaska. And then I had to take a seaplane, which was a first for me. And as you could tell, I was a little scared. Like, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And because if anybody knows me, they know that I am terrified of heights. So, yeah, I was pretty scared. It was a really small plane. And I was like, oh my God, are we going to land on the water? Or are we going to just crash and die? Or am I going to just pass out? Like, I was terrified. But as you can tell, the views were incredible. And you could just see everything from this plane, like, so much better than a big plane. And it was such a cool experience. And I would 100% do it again. I'm actually gonna do it again on my way home because the only two ways to get in and out of Haines, Alaska is either by seaplane or by fast ferry or by normal ferry. And unfortunately, both of the ferries were booked, and so I didn't get to do that experience, or I'm not going to get to do that experience, I guess. So I am taking another seaplane back to Juneau, the big airport. And yeah, as you can see in this video, there's just so much to see, like all the mountains and the greenery is just incredible. Like whenever I got here, I honestly expected there to just be snow and it to just be cold the whole time. And I was just like, whenever I get there, I'm gonna have to buy a winter coat and a freaking parka and who knows what else. But I ended up not having to buy any of that and just literally living my life in leggings and a hoodie the entire time. And heck, whenever I went to the fair, I wore a tank top, a freaking tank top, and I was actually hot. The sun up here is so intense, and I mean, it's obviously not as intense as, down south, but it is pretty intense up here. And I was really surprised by that. The day that I got in, it was pretty cloudy. There was just a little bit of rain, but it didn't last for very long, and it was just kind of like a not even a shower. It was just a drizzle, I guess. But yeah, you can see how just beautiful the water is and how clean it is, and the little islands are just so awesome. And I think it would have been really cool if I would have been able to go explore some of the islands, but I wasn't feeling that brave, honestly. And I mean, the only way to get to them obviously is by boat, and the water would have been freezing, and we would have had to like anchor up and swim to the islands because there's no docks. So, anyways, yeah, you can see some of the islands and all the trees and the clouds, the water. It's so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. I mean, the pictures and videos just really don't do it justice. Alaska was definitely not what I was expecting, to be honest. And I'm so glad that I made the decision to come and explore. Here you can see I finally landed, saying I survived. And here's a little while after I got off the plane. Good morning from Alaska. So today, it's so beautiful. It's a little cloudy, but today I am actually going to go to the fair that is in town, and I'm gonna go out on a yacht and explore the waters and go to the beach, and then maybe even go to some of these woods and do a little bear and moose hunting. Look for some wildlife. try to get some video for you guys that's pretty fucking wild. And I'm also going to be taking some sexy pictures today. So, yeah, I can't wait to share with you guys. So I obviously am not going to share all my sexy pictures here. So if you want to see those, go over to my OnlyFans and subscribe there. You can see everything. My VIP is definitely the place. But anyways, yeah, here's some more views of Alaska. I was on the beach here. It's called Dog Beach. And it was beautiful. It was just beautiful. I walked a lot on Dog Beach. Here's the marina, or the harbor, or whatever it is they call it here. There was a lot of boats. There's the yacht that I was on right there. This is their court system. Isn't that wild? Like, it's not a courthouse. This was the best restaurant that I ate at. It was the first one that I ate at. It was my favorite. Here's a little bit of the menu. They call it Soda Pop. A little history of the restaurant. It's been there forever. Here's one of the things that I got. I also got mac and cheese bites that were amazing. Here's after I left the restaurant, driving back out of town. There's some more views just along the drive, the mountains and the water. It's so crazy beautiful here. Honestly, it smells so fresh here. And then here's an area that we went looking for bears and moose, and there was a sign saying, "Oh, watch out for the bears." Here's a place where there used to be a dock, I think, and there isn't one anymore. But here's some of the woods. You can see the bears got to the bark. Yeah, here's some of the views from just the pull-off area that I pulled off on just to look and take pictures. Me in the woods. Yeah, it was a wild fucking adventure for sure. And the plants were so beautiful. Just all the wildflowers and stuff. And yeah, here's me living life. And honestly, I didn't see any bears or any moose so far. Today's my last day here, but I'm going ahead and making this video. That was the cabin that I stayed in, and here's some of the views from the cabin. And the harbor again. I went back and took some pictures on the top of the yacht and of the yacht. And here's my dinner for the night. It was spaghetti. It was so good. Here's me back at the cabin. Here's my coffee that I got at this little coffee shop. Here's the fair food I got. This is Dog Beach again. Here's at the fair. They built a little tiny like town for the fair, which was really cool. It was supposed to like look old and stuff. Here's one of my sexy pictures again. And yeah, here's driving through the mountains, just looking at all the scenery. And this was exploring some woods again. I saw a porcupine out in the wild, but that was the only wildlife I've seen so far. And this video was way out in an area where you didn't have any phone signal at all. And it was supposedly moose country. Here's me finally on the yacht. We took it to Skagway. I got to drive a little bit. And it was just incredible, honestly. Like, it was so open and beautiful. And it was awesome. It took us about 2 hours to get to Skagway and about 2 hours back. Here's some of my sexy pictures. A lot of them are going to be on my OnlyFans, which is Freebird BBY. That's the free one. From there you can find the VIP. There's some video of the water. Another picture of my butt. Um, yeah. There's a video from inside the yacht, pulling up to the dock area. Another lovely picture of moi. Well, that's my trip to Alaska. I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of, me sharing that. Make sure to like and subscribe and tune in for next time.